My name's Sara Bauder. I'm the SDSU Extension Agronomy Field Specialist based out of the Mitchell Regional Center. So here at the research farm, we focus on several different crops and different rotations and methods of crop management, but my specific focus has become more on the forage side of things. This year's field day, we're going to be talking about alfalfa and how alfalfa affects us in South Dakota, how important having good alfalfa management is, and some of the different ways that we can improve our forage crops, specifically in the world of alfalfa. So I've got some trials I'm going to discuss focusing on seeding rates, whether or not to use inoculum with your forages, and also looking at abuscular mycorrhizae fungal populations in alfalfa and how those colonizations can help us down the road, whether they're going to affect yield and stand. So we have a lot of interesting research going on, as well as our typical variety trial that we have every year that commercial companies can enter, where we look at different varieties and who wins each year, which out yields the other. So a lot of great research going on, and really looking forward to sharing that information with the public. Drought and hot weather can really affect some of our research, especially if we're in small plot areas. Of course, it's affecting all farmers and ranchers across the state. Specifically in the world of forages, we really want to look at how we can get our forages to be resilient to drought and what best ways we can manage them to keep them healthy, because we need forage to feed our livestock, right? That's the most important thing to most producers who have livestock, making sure we can feed them and afford to do so. So we have had some effect on our newly established research plots this year due to the dry weather and the heat, much as many farmers who have planted forages this year have. We're hoping that that improves if we're able to get some rain, but if not, we can at least measure how things respond in a dry year and learn something from those. So all hope is not lost as far as the research goes for this year's trials. So we never know in a drought situation or in any environmental effect on plants what will be happening down the road. However, this year a lot of questions that have come in have been related to establishing stands of alfalfa and forages and what we can do to mitigate drought. And there's really not a lot aside from rain or buying an irrigation pivot, that we can do to really turn things around. But just keeping a close eye on your crops of all kinds, not just your forage crops, can be very important in these situations because these plants are already stressed. And one thing we can do is try to minimize stress by keeping pests out, like weeds, insects, and plant diseases. We haven't seen a lot of plant disease issues in the forages this year. However, there's been a bad influence of alfalfa weevil that's come in, so it's important to be scouting for that and just to minimize all the stress that we can control.